Welcome back to Overkill Reviews. This week I get to do something really special. I'm reviewing my favorite album of 2015, Justin Bieber. Welcome to Overkill Reviews. This week I'm doing something special. I'm reviewing my favorite metal album of 2015, and that album is Lamb of God's Sturm Und Drang. Now, I know I've got a lot of favorite metal bands that I've mentioned over the years, Iron Maiden, Sepultura, and yes, Lamb of God is another one of my favorite metal bands. They're from Richmond, Virginia. They formed as Burn the Priest way back in '94, released their first album as Lamb of God in the year 2000, and now they're really one of the top thrash metal bands in the world. This is exciting. I get to talk about my favorite record of 2015. Sturm Und Drang opens, in my opinion, with the strongest 1, 2, 3, 4 song punch of any metal record in a long time. So this week, we're doing 4 songs. Track number 1 is called Still Echoes. And for those that don't know, many of the songs on this record are based on the experiences of vocalist Randy Blythe. In 2010, he was accused of manslaughter when a fan at a Lamb of God show died. He went to prison and went through a massive ordeal. This song starts out of the gates really strong. It's a blast beat and then slips into sort of a very familiar Lamb of God groove. But I think what sets this song apart and so many songs on this record apart from the peers of Lamb of God is the lyrics and the delivery of the lyrics. There's a line in this song, 1,000 heads cut clean across their necks right down the hall from me. This is extremely vivid imagery because Randy spent time in a prison called Pankratz, which is where the Nazis actually beheaded a number of people who were part of the Czech resistance during World War II. So right out of the gate, we're sort of thrust into this very sort of personal journey of Randy Blythe, and the music behind it is, I think, Lamb of God really at their songwriting best. Great start with Still Echoes. The second track is Erase This, and it opens with what I would consider sort of like the speed metal version of Thunderstruck by AC/DC. It's got this really epic high guitar line and then just launches into a really sort of unrelenting thrash metal riff. And it really sort of hits its stride when out of nowhere there's a talk box riff. And last time I remember a talk box being used was like Richie Sambora on Living on a Prayer. And I never imagined you'd actually hear it in an extreme metal tune. But there's this talk box riff, and then on top of that you get this blistering solo. The third track on the record is called Number 512. And of course this is Randy's cell number when he was at the prison. This is a really vivid vocal performance from Randy. We get descriptions of what it was like for him to be spending all this time in the prison. And I think on this song, he's kind of created the thrash metal vocal anthem, similar to like a Zach De La Rocha, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. He chants, my hands are painted red, my future's painted black. I can't recognize myself. I've become someone else. You're being brought into the world of a man who's been charged of a crime he didn't commit. You really feel like you're there with Randy. In terms of the music on number 512, it opens with an extremely haunting riff that repeats itself throughout the song. This is, of course, the music video track from the album. And I think with this song, they've come the closest you can to creating sort of a sing-along thrash metal anthem without sacrificing sort of the darkness and the extremity that Lamb of God fans love this band for. The fourth track on the record is called Embers. And on this song, we're really hearing a band stretching out, sort of stepping a bit outside of their comfort zone. It starts fairly typically. It's a fast, lo-fi riff that kicks into full production, and it's pretty familiar territory. But then towards the end of the song, we go to somewhere completely different. Chino Moreno from Deftones makes a guest vocal appearance, and the song really takes on an expansive, sort of emotive, and almost, dare I say, melancholic feel, which is never a word I would have used to describe Lamb of God in the past. And lyrically, this is another very personal song. It's a song about personal loss. Randy sings, "Scatter the dust. What we once held in hand seems was never at all. Gone in a gust, not ours to understand. An agony perpetual." For people who are listening to this song and has ever lost someone, I think it really speaks to them. It's a band that's thrash metal at its core, but with Embers and a later song on the record with a guest appearance by the Dillinger Escape Plan vocalist and Randy singing clean on a song on the record, maybe this is a band that wants to find new territory, that just doesn't want to be creating that same sort of Pantera meets Megadeth metalcore sound. So my verdict: this is the best record of 2015 in the metal world, in my opinion. I think Randy Blythe is at the top of his game here, and the rest of the guys are still creating some of the best extreme metal on the planet. It's an album that's personal, but universal. It's an album that has exceptional chops, but has taste. And I think these are the kinds of balances that are really hard to strike in the extreme metal world. I'm breaking the mold. I'm giving this album 3 out of 2 skulls on Overkill Reviews. We'll see you next year.